Where do I begin? Hello, guys. Um, I've been doing a lot of thinking, you know, thinking about the past, thinking about the current, and forward looking also. But you know how when you're younger, all you wanted to have was financial health, security. And we've all been through some things, right? And somehow, not all of us, but some of us, we always think that somehow money could solve all of our problems. Financial health would solve all our problems. I think I can say that trauma, whatever your trauma is, money doesn't fix that. Things that you've done in your past, even small things, things that affected other people, things that affected or altered the lives of other people, even things that you know that you've been forgiven for. Somehow, and sometimes for a while you forget about those things, right? And you go through and you enjoy life. But there comes a time when those things start to keep you up at nights again, because you start to think that, could I have done something different? Could I have avoided that? Could I, especially if you're doing stuff in the line of your job, could I have done something different? Or if it affected your family or your kids, and you get to a point in life where things are okay, you're doing okay, but you still, some aspects of your life is totally happy, happy with your wife, you're happy with your kids, you're financially secure, but there's just that feeling like something's missing. And not just missing, you start thinking about all those things, and all those things in the past, all those mistakes that you've made. No matter how much money you have, it doesn't fix those problems. And being forgiven for something doesn't mean that you forgive yourself. And for all those other things that people do to affect you, even though you forgive those people, some of those things you can't forget. You know, and it keeps you off balance. You know, and sometimes those things maybe even subconsciously helps to form the decisions that you make today. You know, it helps to shift your personality in a different kind of way. What I came on here to talk about was that money doesn't fix all your problems. You know, and maybe not even problems. It doesn't fix everything that you want to get fixed. Some things cannot be bought, and that is for real. There are people who think that everything can be bought and everything got a price and everyone got a price. And I'm here to tell you that some things cannot be bought. There are some people who have some fundamental things about them that will make or break a relationship, that will make or break a friendship, that will make or break a partnership. Because no matter what you do, it won't nudge them either way, because those things are fundamental to that person. And if you think that those things that person feel value a penny, so you're gonna give them $1 billion to shift. For some people, it won't work. You know, and what I would say is, if you have, because there were people who have been good to me in my life, and through life itself, I forgot about those people. You know, through living and trying to build yourself up and stuff, you know, and then years later you thought about those people and you heard that they pass away, and you didn't get a chance to say thank you. You know, and those things sits on you, sits on me. You know, people were good to you when you were 10 years old, and you grow to become 40, 50, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you never get a chance to say thank you. By the time you remember those people, you hear that, oh, they passed away 5, 10 years ago. Because by the time you get things right and you settle down and you remember all those things, it's too late. And those things may seem simple, but those are the things that keeps me up at night. The people that I didn't get a chance to tell thank you for those small little things that was so major in my life.